What's up, guys? Welcome back to the garage. Gerald here with you. You know I love the Academy Awards, and you know I love predicting stuff that has to do with that way too early. In April of this year, I gave you my predictions for the Best Picture nominees coming up at next year's Academy Awards. I'll put a little tag up here for you. This month, I'm going to give you my predictions for the Best Actor nominees, as well as Best Actress. I will give you who I think the 10 most likely in each of those categories are. Way too early. Let's get started. All right, guys, I just want a little disclaimer up top, just like I put on my Best Picture predictions. This is just for fun. Please don't base this in any kind of reality. I'm just having a good time. I've done my research. I've listened to some other pundits and shows that I follow, and they've made some predictions on YouTube and in their podcast spaces. And I've just kind of come up with my own predictions of what I kind of see happening when we get closer and closer to the nominees being announced next January. I'm also inserting a little bit of my own wishful thinking into some of these, at least maybe where they're ranked. To get things started, we're going to start with our Best Actor nominees. I'm going to start with the most likely to get nominated, going down to number 10, which would be ultimately the 10th most likely, or the least likely in this case. Again, it's just for fun, and here we go with our Best Actor predictions. I love Bradley Cooper. He's been nominated multiple times, but he's also been snubbed quite a few times. This year, the film Maestro, a biopic about Leonard Bernstein, where he is not only the lead actor playing Bernstein, but he's also the director. I think that he's the most likely at this point as we're sitting here to get nominated for Best Actor. Much like I said Maestro would be nominated for Best Picture in my previous predictions video, I just feel like whenever Bradley Cooper is involved with the multiple nominations and you've got music at the center of a story that he's most likely extremely passionate about, it stands a really good chance. I've seen the makeup work. The guy looks phenomenal. He really probably gave 110% into this role. Therefore, I think Bradley Cooper is your number one overall to be nominated for Best Actor next year. My second most likely is going to be Cillian Murphy for a little film called Oppenheimer, directed by Christopher Nolan. I don't know how much of a chance it really stands to be nominated for picture, because I don't know if this is Dunkirk Nolan or if this is like Tenet Nolan. We don't really know yet. I think it's going to be a little more like Dunkirky because it's going to be a little more biopic. It's based on a true story, and it's going to bring some of that IMAX spectacle that we expect from Nolan as well. But Cillian Murphy is my number one, holy shit, please let it happen for this movie. This guy's been in the business for so long, typically taking a lot of supporting roles, but here obviously he's the lead title character and the film is going to hinge on his performance, and I realize that. I am of the mindset that this guy is such a seasoned actor and you have such a steady hand with Christopher Nolan here that this performance is going to blow people away. See what I did there? No pun intended. And if Oppenheimer gets all those technical recognition that I think it will, then I think Murphy has a really good shot here. He's my number 2 overall for Best Actor. All right, the Cannes Film Festival just wrapping up. A lot of my friends were in attendance. I've been following it on Twitter. Killers of the Flower Moon is going to get a ton of nominations. I think actor is one of those. There'll be a little discussion when we get to actors here in a minute. Leonardo DiCaprio in our lead role of this film. I saw the trailer. I've heard that he's kind of an absent-minded character in the movie, but also a bit of a hero in some respects. I don't know. I didn't see it at Cannes like a lot of my friends did. I only have the trailer to go on and their reactions to go on. I've been trying to avoid anything that would be considered spoilery, so I don't have a full comprehension of what his character is. But it's DiCaprio, guys. Much like Bradley Cooper, always in the hunt for a nomination when he has a movie coming out. And when it's a movie directed by Martin Scorsese, and it's being as well received as it has been, it also sounds like it's an important historical story. Leonardo DiCaprio is going to bring his AAA plus game to a Scorsese project, and I think he'll be nominated here for Killers of the Flower Moon. Next up, I'm going to take a bit of a leap. This might be down like closer to like 10 or even maybe outside the top 10 for some folks. But much like Bradley Cooper and much like DiCaprio, whenever Joaquin Phoenix is in a historical role, being led by a triumphant director with an amazing resume, then he's in the mix. And I think that's the case with Ridley Scott's Napoleon. Obviously, Phoenix and Scott have a great pedigree together and a great history with films like Gladiator. And not only that, but with the Academy as well. I think that's going to kind of transcend here whenever there's a war movie in the discussion. I mean, the Academy eats it up. And you got Joaquin Phoenix, one of the best actors alive today, that just won recently for a film like The Joker. If he can win for that, he can be nominated for Napoleon, a historical war story that's directed by an Oscar-winning pedigree director. Joaquin Phoenix is in that fourth spot for me. After these top four, I don't know. I'll just put it that way. I have no idea. Let me give you my 5 through 10. This will most likely change. So Colman Domingo is an African-American actor that has been just a powerhouse the last 5 to 6 years. He's done a lot of great things. I liked him most recently in a film called Zola from A24. This guy has the possibility this year to be nominated for Best Actor and also for Best Supporting Actor because he has a supporting role coming up in The Color Purple right at December. It comes out on Christmas Day. But for Best Actor, I think he stands a chance of being nominated for Rustin. Bayard Rustin was the right-hand man to MLK, to Martin Luther King Jr., during the civil rights movement in the 1960s. And this tells kind of MLK's story, but also Rustin's story through his point of view. And I think Colman Domingo, I've only seen a few stills here and there. It's, aside from that basic plot synopsis I just gave you, it's pretty hush-hush. But it is a biopic that takes place surrounding the civil rights movement with an actor that is getting a lot of recognition as of late. And like I said, next month I'll be doing my supporting predictions. And if I were doing that right now, I would also be putting him in the supporting category for Color Purple. I think he stands a really good chance, and as of right now, he's my 5th spot for Best Actor for Rustin. Another African-American actor who's been tearing it up as of late is Kingsley Ben-Adir, and he's going to be playing Bob Marley in Marley, a biopic based on the life and times of the popular reggae pop star that looks phenomenal. I mean, I've seen the guy in makeup on the set, the different stills that we've gotten released. No trailers, no clips, nothing like that has come out yet, but just based on the photographs and knowing that he is such a talented actor, I could very easily see his name being in the conversation as well. These 5 through 10, like I said, I really have no idea. It's just going to be how well received the pictures are, how well the performances translate based on the pictures and clips that we may have gotten from these different things. But I'm really, really excited, and I'm so happy that Bob Marley is actually getting a story told on the big screen, and I think Kingsley Ben-Adir is a great actor to pull that off. My number 7, I'm biased. I'm a Timothy guy. I love Timothée Chalamet. He's my king. So he could be nominated for a few things this year, if I'm being honest. Wonka's coming up in December. I don't know if Wonka's too wonky for the Academy. So I'm going to go a little safer, and I'm going to go with his portrayal in Dune Part 2, Denis Villeneuve's epic sequel that's coming out later this year. We've gotten the trailer for it. We've seen clips. We've seen stills. We've heard Timothy in interviews talking about Dune Part 2. It's a project that he's very proud of, and I know Villeneuve is just taking this legacy of these Dune films and really making them a spectacle to behold. And that is really carried on the shoulders of Timothée Chalamet. I think he is the best young actor working in Hollywood today. I said it. And I think that whenever he's in a lead role of these grandiose films, the Academy's got their eyebrow up and they're kind of watching what's going on. Again, it's going to determine how well received his performance is, how well the movie does at the box office perhaps, but I think there's a great shot for Chalamet from Dune Part 2, and I really hope it happens. And the good news is if it doesn't happen, he's playing Bob Dylan in a biopic next year directed by James Mangold. That's got Oscar written all over it. I didn't want to make 2025 predictions in this video, but just remember I said that. These last few, let me just list them real quick to speed up the video because I have no idea. These are ones that are pretty much wishful thinking, at least these next two. Next up would be Michael Fassbender from The Killer, a film directed by David Fincher that I think is going to be a beautiful kind of visual picture of this kind of assassin, but it's going to be told from his point of view where we're going to be sympathetic to this anti-hero. And you're going to need a really, really good actor to pull off that delicate balance. And I think Michael Fassbender can do it. I mean, he's just got the range. I mean, for lack of a better way to put it, and I think he is due for his nomination. I don't know, as we're sitting here, if The Killer is going to be too violent and too horror-y for the Academy, but if it's not, and it leans more to a character study of this killer, then Fassbender stands a good shot. Right now, he's sitting around my number 8. Number 9, I've heard people say they can't believe how good Ryan Gosling is in Barbie. So I'm going to keep him in my top 10 right now. Gosling is the man. I mean, this guy brings the heat with everything he's in, and I don't think this is going to be any different. I think this is going to be a, Truman Show, Speed Racer kind of vibe where it's going to be really crazy to watch because we don't really know what we're getting with Barbie yet. We don't know what the kind of angle is, but I can tell that even though there's comedic bits built into it, that Ryan Gosling is really giving above and beyond in his performance, as is Margot Robbie, which might factor into my actress predictions here in a second. But right now, I've got Gosling at number 9. And then my number 10, Anthony Hopkins, Sir Anthony Hopkins, playing Sigmund Freud. What are you going to do? For Freud's last session. I mean, a lot of these names are similar where it's like if they're in the discussion, if they have a movie coming out, they're in the game. And I think that's the case with Anthony Hopkins, so he's sliding in here at my number 10 because I just don't think you can overlook such an iconic veteran as Hopkins. There's always a possibility that he sneaks in. Right now, I've got him in my top 10 at number 10. All right, as we get into our Best Actress discussion, I'm going to start with one that's going to be somewhat like, what? Because this hinges on the studio's placement of Lily Gladstone. I literally asked people that I know personally that saw the movie at Cannes, is she in the lead role? Is it a supporting role? And nobody can really tell me. It's a hunch. It really just depends on how they campaign her. But she is in the movie enough to be considered a lead role. If Michelle Williams got lead for The Fabelmans last year, which was a supporting role to me, I think Lily Gladstone could get nominated for lead actress, and I think she should for Indigenous people and the history of that, how historical that would be, how important that would be. I've already mentioned how Killers of the Flower Moon is going to literally just blow up the Academy on Oscars nominations morning, and I think Lily Gladstone will be nominated. It's just a matter of, is it supporting or is it lead? As we're sitting here right now, I'm going to keep her in my lead actress nominations, and she's my number 1 overall to get nominated. My number 2 would be Greta Lee for Past Lives, a movie that I am dying to see, but I've yet to do so. In the trailer and the clips that I've seen, she looks absolutely phenomenal. I think this is an Asian American actress that's going to take the world by storm, much like Michelle Yeoh did this past year, even though she's been in the business for decades. But I mean, from an Academy perspective at least, it looks like a tender, down-to-earth, sympathetic performance that she's going to be a torn character. I can already tell that from the trailer, from her past life and from her current life in America with her new husband, etc. I don't know if she has a kid in the movie. I can't really tell in the trailer. I know some of my friends have seen this, but I have not seen it yet. I'm extremely excited to see it. I think the optics would be great. I think Greta Lee, for everything I've heard, she's absolutely phenomenal and carries the film. So I'm going to put her at my number 2 spot right now for Best Actress. The trailer just came out as we're sitting here yesterday for The Color Purple, a musical based on the iconic previous Oscar-winning film. And Fantasia Barrino plays our lead character in this film, and she's singing, she's dancing, she's obviously acting. It's going to be a very heartfelt, personal, and emotional performance. The film is. The original film was too. It's still produced by Oprah Winfrey. So you know that there's going to have a lot of those like foundational chops that we got with the original film. So I'm looking forward to this. And when I saw this trailer, and I know that it's coming out on Christmas Day, this will get nominated for Oscars. And I already mentioned Coleman Domingo, possibly for supporting. You also have Haley Bailey in there, who is blowing up right now for The Little Mermaid. I think she's phenomenal. But without a doubt, if you have a lead acting category, that's Fantasia Barrino. And for that reason, much like a Jennifer Hudson type character about 10 years ago, I think she slides in here. I currently have her at my number 3 for Best Actress. Number 4, another teaser, not a trailer, but a teaser we got a couple of weeks ago. For Yorgos Lanthimos' Poor Things, Emma Stone. I'm going to put her at number 4. You have movies like La La Land and The Favorite. and she's working with Lanthimos again, who she worked with in The Favorite, and got a nomination there. She's in the lead in this movie. She plays a character that's going to be living with the brain of an infant and kind of learning the way of the world in an adult body. It's going to be a very quirky and off-the-wall performance, but Emma Stone is adored by the Academy, and like I said, when she works with certain directors, it just goes up. The possibility just goes through the roof. That's why I have her being nominated here for Poor Things at my number 4. All right, much like the other ones, when we get to number 5, I don't know. From 5 on down, let me just list these. These are the order I think, the possibility, but I really don't know. A lot of it is wishful thinking as well, which is the case with Carey Mulligan for Maestro. I mentioned Bradley Cooper earlier. I feel like they're going to play off each other. Both of these actors are just like, they steal every scene they're in, so they're going to be in these scenes together. And it's going to be like watching a freaking clinic. I love Carey Mulligan, most recently with Promising Young Woman. She has a lot of great Oscar recognition, and I think that's going to continue here. So I'm going to go ahead and put her at my number 5, sliding into that 5th spot for Maestro. Another actress the Academy loves, British, so you got BAFTAs in the mix as well, but Kate Winslet for the movie Lee. I think she stands a good chance to get nominated as well, basically on her name, and because we know she's going to absolutely slay the role. Any role she's in, she's going to do that. Another historical film, another historical piece, where she's going to really have an opportunity to shine and kind of show her range. And whenever she does that, whenever it's a film that dives in and kind of makes her pull out these real life scenarios, we get a lot of really good stuff from Kate Winslet. Multiple nominee. I think she stands a good shot. But again, I don't know what I'm talking about at this point, so I'm just listing my 6 through 10. Number 7, I'm going to put Natalie Portman from May December. This could have been Julianne Moore too, and we also don't know if they're leads, if they're supporting, if they're co-leads. So who's going to be lead, who's going to be supporting? I don't know. I'm going to go Natalie Portman. I haven't seen this movie. This one also premiered at Cannes, and I saw a lot of great feedback from it. But a lot of people have said, or a few people have said that I read, that Natalie Portman kind of steals the scenes that she's in, and she kind of takes a little more of a memorable, you walk away kind of remembering her performance a little bit more. And for that reason, I'm going to choose her in this slot from May, December. But I think Todd Haynes' film is going to get a lot of recognition come Oscars morning. I got Natalie Portman for the Best Actress slot. These last 3, I don't know. I'm going to say Annette Bening for Nyad next, just because I've seen a lot of people predicting that. I really don't know, and I'm being honest with you, anything about this movie. I do know that Annette Bening is a veteran actress that the Academy loves. She is one of the more polished, studied actresses in Hollywood. And whenever she acts in those kind of like elder roles, it really sticks with you. You remember it. I don't know a lot about Nyad, but I've seen so many people predicting her. Some people have her at number 1 and 2, and I've got her all the way down here at number 8, but there she is. And my number 9 is going to be Wishful Thinking, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, coming up for a romantic dark comedy called You're Hurting My Feelings. I've seen the trailer, I haven't seen the movie. She's an actress that is so respected in Hollywood, not only for movies, but for her TV work. Seinfeld, anyone? My favorite sitcom of all time. How great would it be to see her go from that Elaine character, an iconic character from the late 80s, 90s, from Seinfeld, all the way into an Academy Award? Win would be great, but I'm going to say nomination. Again, I don't think it's going to happen as we're sitting here, but because of her career, and she's a lifelong actress that's given so much to the community and to us as an audience on TV and on film, it would be a great feel-good story to have her nominated finally for an Academy Award. I think it's possible, so I've put her in here at my number 9. And then my number 10, just like our boy Ryan Gosling back in the actor predictions, I'm going to put Margot Robbie for Barbie at my number 10. Much like I said with Gosling, it just depends on how fucking crazy this movie is. Is it too crazy for the Academy? Is it too kind of pop culture-y for them and hip for them? I know that sounds bad, but usually the hipper it is, the less likely it is to get nominated. So we'll see. Greta Gerwig is a powerhouse director. I would love her to get nominated as well. Her and Baumbach wrote it, maybe a screenplay nomination. Obviously, the costume design, the set design, everything looks great from a technical achievement. They could be nominated for those as well. So if those start to compound, then maybe we get a nomination for somebody like Gosling or like Margot Robbie here for Best Actress. She's my number 10. Those are my 10 in each category for lead actor and lead actress as we sit here in May of 2023 for the Academy Award nominations that are coming up in January of next year. I don't know what I'm talking about. What did you guys think of my picks? Who did I miss? Who do you hope gets nominated next year? Let me know down in the comments. And please subscribe to this channel. I will be back next month with my supporting actor and actresses predictions video. I'll see you guys next time in the garage.